Therapy Army! Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. Welcome to the Raw, Real, and the Red pod with our brother Saeed. Saeed, big up, bro.
Man.
How are you doing?
Big up, man. I'm all blessed, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm all good. You know what I'm saying to you, another week, another statement from Man United. But listen, it's one of them feelings, man. After the win we've had, it's been a bit drama free, apart from the Anthony stuff today. But then again, did have the Lissandro situation happening as well. But other than that, I've not been kind of depressed this week. I've been a bit, bit joyful. Every time I speak to people, at least I've got a bit of, spring in my step. But other than that, I can't complain. Life's good. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's been hectic, bro. Been hectic. I'm not gonna lie to you. Work's been hectic. Things have been hectic, so I've not even done any lives. But it's gonna change, Therapy Army. I know that. We're gonna change that. We're going to change it. Next week should be back to normal, at least 3-4 shows. But yeah, big up to everybody. Love and light. And let's get on with it. There's so much things to talk about, obviously. Obviously, you've done lots of different shows. Make sure you check out people Saeed TV for everything. He's out there doing it every day. 3 shows a day he's doing at least, and every breaking news. Manchester United statements have kept him busy as well. You know what I mean? If I don't mind me saying.
Crazy.
But we're going to come to it, man. We're going to come to it. We've got Licha to talk about. We've got Anthony, obviously, the return. Sancho's done out here. But first, we're going to get into this kind of like Crystal Palace. Both of us were at the game. Obviously, it was both Manchester United reserves and Crystal Palace reserves playing each other. But we're going to get into that. But big up, people. Listen, smash the like on the video. Like, share, subscribe to the channel on the road to 10K. Big up the early bird massive that already in here. Man. Yeah. Big up the early bird massive out here, man. So, let me just tweet it out as well. If you get a chance, I'll tag you to it. Yeah.
1 second.
Nuruddin, do you think Licha was rushed back too soon if he didn't look fit both Wolves Spurs game, along with a few others, to be honest? Rotation must happen this season in all areas to compete on all fronts. Listen, we're going to see, innit? Yeah. We're going to see a lot of the things that I predicted. That could be going wrong. Went wrong, so it is what it is, people. I made predictions and people booed me first of all, and then people come back to me afterwards, innit? You know what I mean? It's just that I don't have a this magic thing into the future. I've watched football, and I know how football is, and football humbles you at the best of times. So when I was screaming out last season saying, life is a humbler, life's the biggest humbler, and football is part of life. And part of society, and sport is a humbler as well. It'll humble all of the great. Hold tight, Jose Mourinho. Hold tight, sit back wherever you are, bro.
Hi, Jose Mourinho, man. You see him right now. He's under pressure, man. He's under pressure, Jose Mourinho. Flipping hell, man.
My guy. The only thing he's got to go back to is getting them the what is it? This Intertoto equivalent trophy for Roma.
Yeah. He goes, I've won that trophy. They've not won that in how many years? So fair play to me.
That trophy's new, man. Conference League. Bro. You're having a laugh. It just sounds like a conference, bro. Some clubs will be ashamed to win that. But then it's like they've not gone to 2 European finals for a long time. And you're like, come on, calm down. We're starting with Evans. It's not enough to make a manager think we should prioritize games and competition. But so we've got big debates, me and you, to get into tonight because the lineup is going to be very interesting. The lineup is going to be very interesting, man. Biggest win ever this season. Imo, he gets us top 4. He has played in such a way. So big up to him. And going, let's say, biggest ever gets top 4, and he has play good football, going for more than. It will be disastrous. Listen, bro, Google this. It's got a lot of games to go yet, so we don't need to just calm down and get it. Big up Jarvis. Yeah. Let me know, Jarvis, if you're free. I'll send you the link. Big up to everybody.
Man, big up Jarvis, man.
Yeah, big up to everybody. But let's get into it. Let me just get to a bit of the what. Let me just get into some of my notes, man, bro. Let me just get into some of the notes. But let me just break down and then we can get into it. Let me just check the notes out, bro. In terms of tomorrow's game, here we go. Manchester United, Crystal Palace. So here we go. It's Manchester United defender Sancho faces a long absence, at least 2 months, because of his foot injury. Sergio Roglic. It's all thought out with a muscle injury, meaning Sophie is likely to continue on familiar left back role. I don't think he should play there. I genuinely don't think he should play there.
Who are you playing there then? Who are you playing there?
Listen, it's up to Eric Ten Hag, innit? There must be somebody on the 21s who can play.
No, but that on the 21 that I did say, Nuruddin, don't loan him out.
Yeah, of course, we said
it. Getting any game time.
Saeed, this club is upside down. We know what we said. Midfielder Ericsson and McTominay both are in a squad illness. Winger, but winger Anthony will not be involved despite returning to training. Crystal Palace forward Edward remains out with a hamstring strain. Dean Henderson, Jorio, Rowadal both suffered injuries during the Carabao Cup defeat at Old Trafford on Tuesday and will join the likes of Jefferson, Lama, Michael Elisa on executive list. To be fair, they've got 8 players out, 8 players. Palace.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's happening everywhere, The injuries are just crazy.
Speak, man. Speak for everybody. Listen, I told people, World Cup well in the middle, and none of these teams have played many games as Manchester United. So imagine Manchester United, like the levels, what's going on. So we know, we've watched enough football. What did you used to get from beginning of football? You used to get loads of goals because teams were not up to that, like, the defensive shape, and in terms of ideas where the managers wants them to the shapes, because they've just had a couple of preseason, they've had a bit of time off. They used to get loads of massive goals. They used to be, remember, majority of start of the seasons, goals, it rains goals, right? And there's all this energy, teams ready to go, like surprising people, like teams that you will never think going to the top of the league. This season, ain't it, mate? But remember, Manchester United played more games than anybody else. More games than anybody else in the Premier League. So you better know that Manchester United are suffering these injuries, and everybody else is suffering it. So what does that tell you? Manchester United set to face Crystal Palace at home for the second time in 5 days after 3-0. Haribo Cup, as we call it now on this channel. It's the Haribo Cup, innit? Haribo Cup.
Listen, man, you see the best football there, mate. You see the best football there.
It doesn't matter. Listen, to me, it didn't matter what competition it was. I just wanted to see United actually play a bit of football. First game of the season where we actually played a bit of football. The Red Devils are vying to win 3 consecutive home games against Palace in all competition. However, Palace are unbeaten in their previous 3 Premier League visits to Old Trafford under Roy Hodgson. 1-2 drawn, 1 win in the last 2. United have won just 4 of their past 10 top-flight meetings, drawing 3 and losing 3. Manchester United's league defeat by Brighton 4 nights ago brought to an end 31-game unbeaten run at Old Trafford in all competitions. The Red Devils are close to consecutive home league matches. The Red Devils could lose consecutive home league matches for the first time.
Wow.
Defeat Liverpool and Man City in October and November 2021. The defeat would signal United's worst start to a league campaign for 34 years. I repeat, a defeat would United's worst start to a league campaign for 34 years. Manchester United are unbeaten 15 Premier League home against London opposition teams, winning the last 8. Marcus Rashford has just scored 4 times in the past 17 Premier League appearances, with all of those goals coming against London opposition. Bruno Fernandes scored in both games against Palace last season. Crystal Palace have only won 3 of their past 14 away league fixtures, drawing 3 and losing 8. Palace are just one of 2 teams, along with Luton, yet to score in the first half of Premier League games this season, attempting 33 shots in the opening 45-minute matches without a goal. Roy Hodgson could become the second visiting manager to win 3 consecutive Premier League matches at Old Trafford, emulating Pep Guardiola with Manchester City between 2016 and 2019. Edouard has scored 4 goals in 6 Premier League games this season. He scored 5 times in 35 top-flight appearances last term. Well, he started off to a banger, and then he got injured. So this is where we're at. Let me just tell you a little bit about the opposition. Little bit of info about the opposition. Let me just break it down for you. I watched their game. I watched the highlights. Did a bit of scouting report on who they are and what they are. And I just saw that they use the diags a lot. They play the long ball. I think nobody plays the long ball like nobody else, Saeed. And you know what? The tactic works against, because majority of the teams in the Premier League actually play halfway line football. So when you've got good passer as that Scandinavian kid, I don't know what Henderson is that his name, Henderson or whatever it is.
No, it's called what's his name?
Anderson.
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 Yeah, Anderson.
Anderson, absolutely put it on your toe, bro. The guy could be a midfield player. He is so good in that switch of play. So they use a lot of that long ball. Nobody plays more long balls than them. What they do, though, is that their wings cheat. So they go up the pitch. Their wings cheat. They go up the pitch, and they don't come back and track back. So the best way to beat them, and Fulham were doing it again and again and again to get in behind their fullbacks. They leave their fullbacks isolated. We saw it again.
Yeah.
And they also play very narrow. I don't know if you've seen it. They actually play similar to Manchester United in terms of we don't do the diags, right? We just play very narrow. So they give space where? To the width, where you can switch the play on them. And we saw that on Wednesday. We saw Manchester United team actually anytime, anywhere was either side, whether it was Mason Mount, whether it's Casemiro, whether it was Amrabat, we were switching the plays, right? That is where
and I like that though. I like that because we need to use the width. We never used the width with Man United. I've known Man United for so many years. Is that we never use the width, and I feel like for me, we finally have done that with Amrabat and Casemiro. I think for me as well, Casemiro was doing it a lot as well. So that was top for me. But yeah, you got to use the width, man. And the fullbacks, Dalot, they get forward. So why not use it? So it's 100%. Something that we don't really use on the Ten Hag.
Listen, we don't use it. But that is the things that were opportunities to get at them because the way they play quite attacking. So what they do is their wingers go flop. Their fullbacks follow as well. A lot of the time, so their fullbacks follow. There is space then behind them. If you got quick players, there is space behind them. I think this game is going to be won on the transitions. I think they can be very good at the transition. They've got the best dribbler so far this season in the league. Essay,
quality player.
Essay will dribble the hell out of you. And what have Manchester United struggled against Nottingham Forest, against Wolverhampton, against Brighton? People who can pick that ball up and go, arrivederci. People that go, catch me if you can. Ball carriers. Teams either pass us, overload us on either sides, or somebody picks up the ball and has a go at us, and nobody's there to stop him. So at the end of the day, this is how they play. They play to their strength in terms of that long. If you go press too hard, try to squeeze the game, you better have centre halves that can run. Because especially their wingers are quick. So at the end of the day, they can have a go at us and that. But like you said, they've had 35 shots, if I'm not mistaken. But they've not scored. They failed to score in the first half this season. They've not scored in the first half. They're obviously struggling. They obviously don't have a massive squad. They've got loads of injuries. They've got about 8 players missing. The kid who's been a massive dynamic source of last season that kind of replaced in terms of a figure at the club, a guy that they go to when they're struggling in games. So the guy that replaced Licha, he's injured. And Onward, who started off good this season, he's injured. So at the end of the day, it is a bit where you're thinking, damn it. Where can they hurt us? Where can they get at us?
Yeah,
to me,
that's true.
SA is dangerous. And you know what? They move up SA's movement. When he goes on a gallop side and he's there dribbling at people. I've looked at his stats actually. He's dribbled, I think, more than anybody in the Premier League. And the second guy is 9 dribbles behind him. Like 19 dribbles or something like that. And the next person is like, 10 or 9. So it shows
because he's such a good dribbler.
My guy.
Yes, he's such a good.
Yeah. Both ways. He can go both ways. He's so like flossy with it. You know what I mean? He can go dip, shoulder, break. You know what I mean? My guy break necks, man. Forget about breaking legs. He breaks necks because the boy is just constantly like floats like a butterfly, mate. Absolutely pure movement, pure class. So it's gonna be a very interesting game. Saeed, I'm gonna leave you out to you picking the team. Pick your team.
Okay, go on then. I'm gonna go with.
Let me get this up for you.
Let me get
this up for you. Let me get this up for you.
Go on.
Let me help you out with this, bro.
By the way, I think they said send me the link. What's his name? MUFC Realist and Jarvis said send the link. But yeah, I think for me, it's gonna be an interesting game, man. But I just think any line that we put out there, it's gonna be difficult, man. Really, really is. It's gonna be a difficult game either way. So Onana in goal. I'm surprised Bayenda didn't start in the Carabao Cup. Bit surprised.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think his confidence. I think because he wanted him to have another game in it. Like he wanted to have another game.
Oh yeah, Onana, to
because of the way that the criticism, isn't it? Like the criticism from the British media.
As well, Varane, we need to keep him in cotton wool, man. If Varane goes out injured, we are absolutely effed, Lordin. Genuinely, and he's the one that you kind of can't rely on. You can't actually rely on him.
Saeed, I've said it. We're gonna listen, Saeed. Save it because let's do the preview first. Save it because we're gonna break it down. I mean, how much of an atrocious. I don't give a damn what anybody tells me. This summer's window was absolute shambles. There was a clear position here, Saeed. Clear position here. We needed cover in this area. Regardless of what, the manager don't rate Maguire. Don't rate Maguire. And now we've got a 35-year-old as well. And it's an absolute joke. So, Saeed, go on. You're going to play Amrabat there,
I'm going to play Evans, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to play Evans at centre-back.
Okay, so you're going to
because you know what it is? I feel like for me, if he's played well last game, I'll give him another game. No, Amrabat on the left. No, Amrabat left.
Left?
Yeah. And Evans in the centre-back.
So who are you playing instead of Evans?
I'm putting Evans left centre-back. Yeah, Lindelof's out of the team. I've got to keep him in cotton wool, man, in case Varane's out. Yeah, bro. He's not a left-sided centre-back. And Maguire, I can't trust him at the minute. Okay, so play Amrabat left back. Left back. Yeah. It's crazy, bro. This is what's going to have to happen, man.
Right, midfield.
And then, Casemiro and I'm going to go for Hannibal.
Wow, interesting team.
Yeah, man. Hannibal. I've got Bruno in the midfield.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for
Rashford out here.
I want to go Pelistri on the right. Pelistri. And then Højlund up front. I doubt this will happen, but if it would be because for me, you're at home, That's the problem for me, Lordin. You're at home. You can afford to gamble. And I think for me, you can afford to gamble with this, man. So I would go with this one for me. But what the manager will do is probably a different situation.
So what you want in here? So explain your team. Explain it. So you pick Amrabat.
For me, I want to win the ball. I want to win the ball quickly, and I think we'll do that. We'll go to a back three because Casemiro will go back into a back three. Amrabat will come into midfield. So you probably play a back three with Evans, Varane, and Casemiro. Dalot will be going out wide. Rashford will hold that width. You got Majembri on that left-hand side as well. That's covering the space left behind by Rashford. So then you got Amrabat tucking into midfield. You got extra midfielder in there, and then you got the width of Pelistri as well. So I feel like for me that might happen, but again, I could be wrong. I reckon probably Lindelof might play right back. And you'll have Dalot at left back, and you may get Casemiro and Amrabat in midfield. You may get that situation where Lindelof plays right back. You may get that, So don't be kind of like dismissing that as well.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So you've just gone with Amrabat there. You've gone for the energy to protect the legs of Casemiro.
Yeah.
To have legs. Megbury to have
we need some more legs in there, man. Come on.
So you're not starting Mason Mount. That's really interesting.
No, I'm not starting him. I'm not starting him. Is it either him or Bruno? It's either him or Bruno. It's literally not more to kind of like, it's him or Bruno to choose from.
Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. Listen, people, get your teams in, Guys, I've sent the link. We're gonna jump on. Big up Alien Tenno. Big up Tom as well. At the end of the day, listen, big up, love. At the end of the day, Saeed, this is the team that you've gone for. You've explained why you've gone for Amrabat here because you want him to invert basically like he did on Wednesday night. You want him so the build up is like that 3-1 build up in terms of that.
Yeah,
and he offers a bit more security. I think he's a massive risk, especially the way they play, the wingers they play. I think he's a massive risk. I don't think he's good.
But they won't have natural wingers. They won't have it because Eze is not a winger. He'll be playing in the middle. They'll have That other guy, the what's the one
Who
that
played
got red
against Fulham?
card?
What was their team against Fulham? Look it up for me. Who played
Let me
against
go
Fulham?
check now. Crystal Palace versus Fulham, innit? They played. Their lineup was Johnston, Ward, Anderson, Gahey, Mitchell, Decore, Hughes. Are you on the right? Oh yeah. To be fair, they had Schlupp on the left, and then Eze in the middle, then Edouard up front. So
they've got what's that guy called? The left-footed guy, and they've got
Schlupp.
two tricky people that bully people. He can bully people. Schlupp can bully people. He doesn't. To be fair, when I watch him leave recently, I don't know what it is. Maybe his legs are not the same, but he used to be very quick and tricky guy on the left or the
he
right.
Used to be back in the day.
Yeah, inverted. But he plays more central. He plays more central these days for them. They've got Ayew brother, and he bullies everybody. He is competent. Saeed. He's strong.
He's strong. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's very strong. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. So I think Amrabat could struggle there. He would because you know my guy here, Rashford don't track back, bro. Rashford ain't tracking back for nobody. We know this here could be exposed. He could be exposed there. I'm telling you, and they're very good at switching the ball as well here. So Esse, if Medbury's here, sticking with Esse around here and chasing him, if Casemiro's dropping back a bit, and you're playing Johnny Evans who can't run. This could be a disaster. This could be a disaster. Yeah. This could be a disaster. Absolutely.
I know, but the thing is, though, what more? There's not much more you can do though with it. You can't spice it up any better. That's the problem. It's very, very. We're looking at numbers. I think you know what I said to all my friends today. I said we have to just literally like walk through and crawl over the line until international break. We've got 3 games. I think it is. It's today, Galatasaray, and Brentford. If we can get over that line and then get back to international break with maybe Reguilon back, maybe. Yeah, that's about it, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Reguilon.
So he tried to think, you know what? He thought international break, 5 players are coming back, and he just picked. He's like,
no. Then I realized, they're all long-term injuries.
My guy pulled his hamstring. Hamstring take at least 6 weeks. If you pull the big one, and Eric tonight was trying to pull one over everybody's eyes. I've watched enough football. I've played football to know when a man starts feeling the left side of his thigh, that's the hamstring area. And my guy told us, oh, he was ill. Yeah, you know when you're ill, you don't feel the back of your thigh, bro. That's not where the illness is. I know. The illness is somewhere else. Behave yourself, man. Jarvis, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. How are you, Said? How are you, Nurdin?
Yeah, big up, man. Love for that, man.
It's been a long week, bro. It's been a long week. But listen, what do you think to this team? What changes are you making to this team in terms of the lineup?
Yeah, I think you have done good. I like the team you have set up. I like the way you put the Amrabat in the left back because he will tuck in the midfield. Yeah. So I think we will try, Ten Hag will try his attacking formation like a 3-2-4-1 thing. Not sure about Rashford because he's too wasteful on the ball and he doesn't track back. So if it was me, I wouldn't put in Rashford in this team. I would definitely play Garnacho because he's much better tracking back. And what he showed the last game against Palace was really good, and he scored a goal. So I would rather Ten Hag build on this momentum with Garnacho and because, Rashford, he hasn't been performing. Yes, in the last 13 games, he has scored 2 goals. Last 13 league games. So after he got that big contract, 300K a week, he hasn't been performing. And I think this needs to be his wake-up call because now we have the chance to rotate. So for me, I would put Rashford on the bench and play Garnacho. I agree with this playing Hannibal because we need legs. This was a stunning, impressive 12.9 kilometers distance covered last game, and he was everywhere. He was on the right side, he was on the left side, he was helping out the press. We was always pressing with 3 guys on each side, and Hannibal was on each side pressing. So I would really like him to play. I don't know how we can set up this team because I really want Mason Mount to be in this team too. But then it means we either have to put Pelestri on the bench or Bruno on the bench. Bruno is our captain; he won't be benched. So The only thing I can see is changing Pelestri and put in Mason Mount to get even more legs and even better press players. You're on mute.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, big up,
Mickey, I
Mick.
think.
Listen, big
Hey.
up, Mickey. How are you?
Guys.
Okay?
Yeah, I was looking at this lineup and I kind of agree what Said was putting, but after the presser today, I was just going, yeah, I definitely start the back four like that. What Said selected as well, but I'm a little bit conflicted. It's a positive headache at the end of the day. Like I don't know if it's so important that we keep the width here. Like what I mean. And even if Amrabat starts as left back, he will never finish off as a left back. You can even play as a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So, no, I agree with what Jarvis is saying here. Is basically Rashford. He needs to sit on the bench to become hungry. He needs to learn how to finish his dinner. Watch the parents eat, and do you want dessert? No, you got to deserve dessert. So now, definitely, I would start Garnacho. I would start Pelistri. But instead of Medjbri, perhaps Mason Mount. I'm not sure. It's so conflicting, mate. At the end of the day, we will just find out when the team selection come out tomorrow. So
what would you do, Dominic? Who are you playing?
Yeah.
If I was Ten Hag.
Who are you playing? No, you're in charge. Forget Ten Hag. You're in charge. Who are you playing tomorrow?
Oh, I'm not getting paid enough. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't play. I play Varane and Lindelof for sure. Okay. I'm not sure if I would put. I mean, the left back situation is a little bit tricky. I'm not sure if Lindelof can do that role. Not sure. So definitely I would go with the last team. White change a winning team. I would definitely start Varane as a left back. I know we need him in the midfield, but he will anyway drift into the midfield
Amrabat,
anyway.
Not Varane, Amrabat in the midfield.
Amrabat, yeah. Put Amrabat where he is. Johnny Evans, I was exchanged for Lindelof. So there would be the back four would be Amrabat, Lindelof, Varane, Diego Dalot, Casemiro. Yeah, Medjbri. Yeah. Garnacho.
You know what he's done though? A lot of running. I don't know if you've seen his running stats, but it's pressing.
I don't know, mate. Yeah,
I think
pressing.
He's done a lot in that aspect, especially against a Burnley game. I think Ten Hag right now wants people to set an example, and I think Medjbri is showing that. So maybe he might use him as an example to Rashford, to people that are not tracking their runners and whatnot. So I fair play to Medjbri. I watched him a couple of years ago when he started off at academy, and I thought he was a different player to what he is now. I don't know if he's kind of lost his way, but I still think for me he's so professional. His maturity, his game, he's so mature for me. Like he's only 20 years old, but I feel like his game is so mature. So I've got to give it to him, man. He gives his all. He's very, very up for it. He presses well. Like I said, he keeps the ball as well. Well, like that's one thing as well. He's very, very tight on the ball. He's not rash with it as well. He doesn't feel like he's getting, kind of pressed and he's trying to lose it. You know what? Fair play. So
okay. Big up Saeed. Listen, apparently Saeed, Nuruddin, what you said last show with Saeed is embarrassing, hypocrisy, and negative. Saeed, do you know what he's on about? Yeah?
No, I think, but maybe the Carabao Cup, maybe the Carabao Cup when we were talking about the Carabao Cup and that. Maybe talk about that.
All right,
Saeed, can you please let people know who do I take to the game?
You took your friend's son in it, was it? Yeah, your friend's son. Yeah.
So, like, listen, I don't like the Carabao Cup. I don't like Mickey Mouse trophies. Manchester United are playing. I'll go and watch it. And it happened to be Manchester United play well. Some of you guys are, I swear to God, you think we're a soap opera. I swear to God. Like, it's just an opinion. Stop getting your feelings hurt for an opinion. I don't think Manchester United should be about winning Carabao Cups. Sorry, shoot me. Looks like some of you man want me dead for saying that. Like, some of you, I've absolutely upset so many people. It's unbelievable. I'm embarrassed. I'm saying it's embarrassing. Okay, the hypocrisy. Why hypocrisy? Did I say that I'm never going to watch Manchester United play in the game at Old Trafford, whatever the cup is? No, I said I'm not asked about Manchester United winning Mickey Mouse trophies. I'd rather they play better football. Shoot me.
Yeah.
For an opinion.
Nuruddin, maybe you should contact Netflix to be on the soap opera there. Like,
my God. No. You know what? Manchester United have already beat me to that. Manchester United beat me to that.
Yeah, true.
They've already beat me to that. For me, I think the lineup that you had started Amrabat on the left is dangerous because they've got wingers that they play with wing play.
Yeah.
I think Amrabat being squared up in that side is not the most he's ever played. I've looked into it, people. I've done the research. Is that he's played as a right wing back or as a right back. I've never seen him play as a left back. Never.
Yeah.
And at times in that game, and we were there in that game, he looked a bit awkward. But then he was against a child. He was against a kid. He wasn't against a seasoned professional. And the biggest thing for me about Amrabat is when you're defending, the reasons why you would always play a left back is because it's about the distances. When you defend as a back four, it's about the distances. It's not about the actual one-to-one or the duels sometimes. It's about the distances to your left centre back. It's about the distances you judge. Do you go out to the ball? When to go out to the ball? When to stay in shape? It's about those things. It's not just about, he's a good player, so he can play there. No, this game in individual is about movement. When they're a striker and their midfielders do, what do? Do you move tighter to block the space between you and the centre half? Or do you get distracted and get attracted as a natural midfielders? Midfielders jump at the ball to go to it. So there's a lot more to it. I think that's a risk. Now, it's only a risk if Manchester United don't dominate the ball. If Manchester United do dominate the ball, then it's not much of a risk because on ref defense, the three can just come across. The three of them, Diego Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, or Evans, whoever it is, can come across. And then it looks like that's what we've got because we should have Hannibal, Bruno, Amrabat, Casemiro, all forming a kind of.
We're not going to no left backs in the under 21s. I don't know who's a left back plays.
Yeah, we learned this.
Listen, the kid that got that, he won the Young Player of the Year at Preston. They sent him on fucking loan. Disgraceful of a fucking football club. Fuck you, Darren fucking Fletcher. Fuck you, Dick fucking Murta. You're both pricks. They're both absolute pricks. This kid went to the Championship, one of the hardest fucking leagues in the world. They play every 3 days, they play a game. This kid went there, mixed it up, won a fucking award for his performances. Now he's not ready. Are you fucking kidding me? But go and get Reguilón, who's fucking injury prone. You know how many games he played last season? Atletico Madrid. He played for 3 starts. 9 came on. 9 times he came on. I've done my fucking research, people. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I said it, and Saeed said it as well. He said it, we said it. Why are you letting him go? At this fucking football club, people have made amazing opportunities. That what's his name? That Will guy was injured. Rashford comes on. The rest is history. Rest is fucking history. Rashford, you never see Rashford.
Are we talking about Alvaro Fernandez or?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is Oh, don't get me started on that one.
He's game time. He's not getting game time over there, so you might as well develop him in, man. That's the way I can't.
Yeah, sure. Then
I would have kept him ahead of Reguilón anyway. To be honest with you,
he was so great in the preseason. I thought he was going to stay 100%. So, fuck me. Yeah, honest to God. Yeah, so we showed him that. So bring him back in January then. Can we bring him back in January though?
I don't know what the clause is on the contract. But United, even if Man United should have put a clause in there, said if we have an injury crisis, we're going to take him off you. And I don't think Granada would have said anything different to that. But again, United didn't do that, and now we have to pay for the price. People say hindsight's a wonderful thing, but he's not getting game time with Granada.
We saw it. We said it. We fucking said it. It's not hindsight, it's everything. We said if we get injuries, we said it. I said it. I'm fucking screaming it from January. Yeah. I've been saying it. I said, you know what? We're going to get more fatigue and injuries to come for the beginning of the season. Why? Because I saw Liverpool happen to Liverpool. It's not like this is a big fucking mystery. That big, hindsight. No, we said it. But you know what? Let me say this something to people before I forget. You know you're fucked, yeah, when Daniel Levy is telling you take a player for free. Don't even give any loan. Yeah. Don't even pay, loan fee. Just pay his wages. You don't have to give me any loan fee. Daniel Levy.
Mate,
Wake the fuck up.
I mean, I remember, like, me and Jarvis were sitting and talking about the situation, especially when we had to go on the loan market, and we went for Cucurella and said, like, he's not going. 100% not going. So I was fucking shocked that he was leaving. Who made that decision to send him on a loan? Especially when you have an injury crisis.
Darren Fletcher and John Murtagh.
Oh, that
fucking
and he's got the audacity to recruit in his twin sons.
Listen, even get me absolutely pissed off. So now Manchester United have got 3 left backs injured. We've got the best centre half out of all the fucking centre halves we have out injured.
All right.
Right? In the summer, we said Ten Hag wanted the centre half. We said Kim Min-jae. They talked to Kim Min-jae. Kim Min-jae was the guy because every one of you here, it's not fucking hindsight, people. When we all see Varane's made of fucking plastic. We moan about Martial, but we stay silent on fucking Varane because we accept it. We bought a fucking elderly player, a pensioner from fucking Real Madrid, who's getting broken like a fucking paper sachet. He's made out of paper fucking sachet, right? So we knew that. But no, the club know better. They know fucking better. So at the end of the day, Licha now is out. And I told people, everybody's like, yeah, one of the best centre backs in the league last season.
Play for injury, Nordis. Play for injury. Play for injury.
Hey, listen, 53 minutes ago, Fabrizio Romano tweeted that United is considering to invest on a new important defender in 2024. Internal discussions start. Is that a central defender midfielder or the Antonio da Silva? Too late. No, a little bit too late.
Defender, but I think that will be for summer. I don't think they'll get a centre back in January. They won't do that because they got Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is a red. But
listen, I'm going to go back to tomorrow's game though, because I'm looking at the lineup that I'm selecting. I definitely start Pelistri on the right wing and start Garnacho on the left wing. I don't know where you put Mason Mount in, but you need legs there. Either it's going to be Mason Mount or Medjbri, 100%, because we need legs. And just pack that midfield, right?
We need some more legs in there.
More legs. I can't find my legs. You're right.
Inside joke, innit, Ollie? We need our legs. Yeah, we do need legs. But you know what? We need legs that can fucking keep the ball and pass it. That's what we need, Ollie. Not fucking clowns who can't control a fucking football. And not one that goes fucking peekaboo, plays fucking hide and seek in the middle of the football pitch. Not McTominay I'm fucking talking about. Hide and seek specialist. We said it a long time. And all of a sudden, Saeed, we've been saying it for years. And all of a sudden, everybody and their fucking dog are like, oh yeah, he doesn't even do anything. I'm like, what the fuck were you
watching? What does it do?
Where were you watching?
Where were you 3 years ago? 3 years ago. When he's literally hiding behind fucking opposition.
While Fred is out there playing good football. Fred is out
there. But here's a question I got to pose to you guys. Like, 3 managers in a row see something Scott McTominay. Why can't I see anything? Or why can't we see what they see?
Just because you do the weights and you've got Jago kind of haircut, like you've just come back from fucking Iraq war or whatever it was, whatever war, that haircut, army haircut, that doesn't mean that you can play. We see you. You know one thing about fans, when you go to the stadium, you see everything. And we're all looking at you. Why is he going marking himself? He's the only player I've seen him play in midfield for Manchester United who would literally go behind the number 10. So the number 10 is there trying to fucking cut out the passing lanes. And McTominay goes, you don't need to do that. I'll just go stand behind you, mate. Don't worry. I'm not looking for a ball. I'll just stand behind you.
He was auditioning for Baywatch. He was auditioning. Nura. He was auditioning for the intro of Baywatch. Like, when Upamecano made that sprint, he was like, I be ready. By the time Upamecano came to our 6-yard box, he's like left their 6-yard opponent box. Slow motion.
Let me go from the top. Saeed, I've had my rant. We'll go to you and then we'll go from Jarvis and then to Mick.
Yeah.
Licha, to me, that is devastating fucking news.
Yeah.
Devastating news. And I think this alone can derail the season, me personally. And people are like, nah. I'm like, yeah. You know what? I saw what we look like when we play without him. There's no fucking aggression at the back. There's no instant aggression and fight at the back.
Yeah. And also, it's one of them where You're having to play that story again with Lindelof. It's the same old story. Like, when do you get the best Lindelof? I don't think he's been great this season. At Maguire again, relying on Maguire. Evans, who shouldn't be at the football club, but he's here. But Lisandro's a big. For me, though, he's not been on great form, but I genuinely think the injury has been the case. And a lot of people saying, "Oh no, he's bad form." No, I've been saying he's carrying an injury. He's not himself.
Yes.
You can tell that he's not being himself. He's been paying through probably some, painkiller injections or something like that to kind of numb the pain. And that's what it's been. So I look at it and I think, you know what, he's not been the same, and therefore he's not played well as well. But yeah, man, big loss, man, because again, what he gives us in terms of progressing the ball is so key. Like, generally, he steps into midfield. He's aggressive. He's again tenacious. He's a live wire, man. And I just think for me, like, we're missing that, man. And ultimately, he's out for a couple of months, not even a couple of weeks. And he's had 2 big injuries now, and he's only been here just over 18 months. Nearly 18 months now at United. It's sad, man, when you deep it, man. So I hope he comes back stronger. I hope he doesn't rush it as well now. Don't rush it. Do not rush it, people. Like, I want him back stronger. But that is an injury now that United I've told him to come back early. And again, Ten Hag, whether you like it or not, like, I don't know whether he's getting these players back in too early because his job's is under pressure. He feels like he's on. Maybe it is as well. Like, and I feel like for me, he should have been allowed to have another centre back then. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. Pavard was available. Todibo was available. So, and I want to. Summer's no good to us. We need something in January, but then we got Sancho to replace. I
think Jarvis has a good theory regarding that one. He's also the medical staff advisor, because it's Ten Hag is listening to the experts to say, is he ready or not ready, right? And I agree what you're saying there, Said, as well, that, he was rushed in and he hasn't looked in himself, so he's definitely carrying the injury. The same thing goes with Rashford. I think Rashford is carrying some kind of knock, and he doesn't look comfortable at the ball at the moment either, right? So I think it's our medical staff, and we haven't had a physio doctor, head of physio since February. We just got one started. We got one from Arsenal, a voodoo doctor. But Jarvis, what do you said something in me on when we spoke earlier?
Yeah. We talked about it. It's about our how do we listen even to the medical team? We know that our board, our Murtog, Arnold, they never, none of them listen to the scouts when it comes to transfers.
Nope.
Do they do the same when it comes to the medical team? Because playing, for example, this injury with Licha, he's been playing with injury the 2, 3, 4 games. He come off after 60 minutes, and then we shipped him off to Argentina. How is that even possible? We are run like amateurs.
Again,
yeah.
But that could have happened to Rasmus Højlund. Sorry to cut you off, but that could have happened to Rasmus Højlund as
well.
Yeah,
true.
We were lucky he didn't play that many games.
But listen, guys.
I just want to finish my thought process. So my question is, do the leadership of our club listen to the medical team, or do they not? Because I suspect they don't. Because I can't believe that doctors and medical trained people will say, yeah, just play Martinez, it's okay. Because the metatarsal bone, it's a bone in the foot blade, and when you run, it always bends. And if it's just came back from a break, it takes a long time for an injury like that to heal. And now he will be out for 3 months. He can't run for 3 months, and after 3 months, he have to train himself up again. So he will maybe be back in January, February, the next time we see him playing. So it's so totally amateurish from the club.
To that, Jarvis?
Yeah.
Can I just add something to that? Apparently, we didn't have a head of sports science doctor for 3 months. We were waiting for the clown from Arsenal. From the Arsenal. Manchester United are doing a propaganda prop when they go, oh, the reason why he wanted to come be closer to family. Like, Arsenal are paying him like £9 an hour. So he's, you know what I mean? He could go and move his family up there. So something dodgy is going on. Something dodgy is going on right here. And apparently, we didn't have the head of sports science for 3 months. We didn't. He came back in the game against Burnley. Because he had to see out his contract, apparently, at Arsenal. Are you effing kidding me? This is the shambolic football club we are. And you know what? I studied sport. That's my degree. And you know what? Modern sports science. It's never been this great. It's never been this great. What they do now to treat footballers, it's incredible stuff that they do to treat footballers. They do some incredible things to heal footballers that are injured. The best, they invest. Somebody I talked to, like I got friends who live in the US, and they're like, you're so far behind. You're so far behind. Like the best methods, sports science methods, injury prevention methods, all of the different ways to exercise, all the research is all done at these Ivy Leagues in the US. You know, these like, you know, American football. He's done all this research. It's done there in sports science.
Yeah.
Germany is quite good at sports science. Right, really good. Greece, top sports scientists. At the end of the day, Manchester United, at every level of this fucking football club, we lack. Apologies for swearing. I'll try to watch my language.
No, I mean,
one of the kids are watching, but I say it. Manchester United lag behind, and from professional football club,
red. That's what it is.
You get a yellow ticket now, not monetized.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, I'm getting the dollar thing. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah. That's why.
Yep.
You just
I got to tell you.
But
I got to tell you what to do.
But the rights have said this. They've said if you don't swear in the first minute, you can swear after that.
It depends on the severity of how many times you're doing it as well. But like I said, YouTube are very, very picky on when they do it and when they don't do it. It depends on the advertisement. If they want it, they don't want it, then they'll check it. Sometimes
can we speak freely?
Yeah,
can we
speak friendly.
me, I was hit 6 videos in a row, and especially for the live streams. And I spoke to Alice as well, right? And she was also having the same problems. So I thought it was targeted because
she messaged me.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And you know, every glazed out video, I got hit yellow. And I was thinking, are they fuckers targeting us now? You know what I mean? Are we getting shadow banned?
Yo, I'm telling you, Neil Ashton's around, man. You got to be careful, guys. Neil Ashton, he's around.
We are getting blocked. But you know what to do. You know what to do. So basically, I tried this method around. So basically, YouTube algorithm, I hope you're not listening, because it's machine learning, it's bots now, they said, you know that as well. So basically, after you finish your stream, go back, disconnect monetization, wait 1 minute and click it back on. Because when you do live streaming, when you upload videos, you have the checklist box, like, you know, are you having swear words? Are you nude or something like that? Are you drunk? Or, you know what? But when you do this, right, when you go in and when you do, when you schedule your live stream from StreamYard, you only have the option to click on off, right? Monetization on off. But if you go after, you go click off and then wait 1 minute, click on, and then you get the checkbox, and then you can tick, and no problems.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
Mick is a scientist in the mix.
No, thank Alice. Alice told me this.
Big up Alice.
Big up Alice, man.
At the end of the day, I'll come to you, Mick, as well. Like, Licha, for me, an absolute warrior. He's a natural leader for me. I said he's the only player that we've signed in so long time, in the last 10 years, in defense, that I actually look at and go, you know what? He plays like he's one of the fans. He wears everything on his hair, on his sleeve.
He does.
And the idea, but when people were coming out, clipping him up, going, look at this, look at that. I'm like, I said to people then, and Saeed was saying it as well, the guy's not 100% fit. We don't think he's recovered. But when I point out the same shit, Saeed, when I go, Anthony is being allowed, he's injured, but he's allowed to join up with fucking Brazil. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if it's Brazil or whoever it is. You're injured as a Manchester United footballer. You should be getting treatment at Manchester United, not flying to anywhere. And then I see both him and Lindelof come up against Arsenal, and they both go and join up with Sweden and Argentina. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, has Sancho got a point here where people are getting
and we sent Rashford to the World Cup, remember? And he came back injured. It's the same thing happening over and over again. It's stupidity.
It's just a joke in this tense. But how much a miss do you think he's going to be, Mick?
Massive. I have a special connection to Licha. I mean, I did the documentary about Licha and interviewed his agent and everything. So his background is, he's a warrior, because if you understand where he comes from poverty, basically. His parents slaved his ass off to put him in, like, in footballing school and stuff. Like, he's a merry Indian. He's an Indian, like, in background. He looks a little bit like an Indian, but he's comes from a warrior background.
Yeah.
Indigenous, yeah. So he's a warrior, and he will play through the barriers. And the biggest honor in Argentina is to play for the national team. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit of the players, like, backing himself up. Yeah, I had an injury, but I want to play. Every player wants to play, right? No matter what. But he's such a miss, like, and I agree with what Saeed was saying. Like, you're watching him, and it doesn't feel like the same Licha. Like, it doesn't feel like the same guy.
It doesn't, man.
No, it doesn't.
His tackles, everything about him, it doesn't look the same. But now there's an over reliance, and I feel like for me, Rashford is only around the corner because again, he's played a lot of minutes, and his back injury and his fatigue as well. Ten Hag is running these guys to the ground.
That's it, Saeed. That's it, because if you remember how we saw Rashford, like, he was carrying a knock and he was not himself, right? The same thing I see with Licha as well. But the thing is, guys, if you look at it, we played Europa League. We played Thursday, Sunday, and then we played 3 games a week, and we had a World Cup. So we are the only one that had half of squad injured in the preseason. Half a squad, 11 players. This unprecedented. And now they're talking in the press conference. I mean, Simon Stone was asking Ten Hag a question regarding what about next season? Next season, they're going to increase the level of games in the Champions League and stuff like that. So these guys are equally guilty for the for the revenues, right? What about player safety, right? And then on top of that, you get 4 weeks rest and go on the PR tour to US and play fucking AstroTurf, right? Bloody believable.
Yeah, listen,
but
that's what
listen, guys. I'm just going to finish that thing, right? What I'm going to say here is, we are the only team that had so many injuries, but we have players coming back from injury. If you look at the top 4, top 6, they will definitely have the injuries later on in the season. While
Arsenal already have it. To be fair, Arsenal already have it. I don't know how long-term some of these are.
Chelsea,
We've definitely got a lot of the long-term injuries. I don't know how Arsenal...
Well, Liverpool don't have it. City don't have it, right? That's what they're flying right
Liverpool, though, what Liverpool have done, though, that now is they've freshened it up. Midfield, they've bought and 3-4 midfielders in as well. Attack now, Jota, they've got a couple in there as well. Like, it's only the back line that they're kind of still a bit iffy. But still, like, they've got added depth in that regards.
Yeah. Darwin two left feet noodles found his shooting boots now.
I actually rate him, I'm not gonna lie to you.
So,
banter aside, I rate him. I wish we had him.
I do.
That's me personally. Jarvis, how much are we gonna miss Licha?
Massively.
Well, the biggest problem is Baran. He's so fragile. If he gets injured, then we're stuck with Maguire. We have Evans and we have Lindelof, and that's what we have left. So
what have you got to say to people?
What happened? What happened to Ethan Laird?
Sold. Jarvis, listen. What do you say to people who say this was a successful transfer window, summer window?
Well, in a way it was because we got our targets that we were looking for, as I understand. But we didn't get some of the other targets. If we had had Kim Min-jae in our center defense, we would be fine. But
the reason why we didn't get Kim Min-jae?
He lost out on Kim Min-jae. He wanted Pavard. He wanted Todibo. He didn't get either of them. So the manager asked for 3. So they said to him, you can't get your first choice, your second choice.
Look at the Pavard one, Nuruddin. Look at the Pavard one.
Got Johnny Evans.
Look at the Pavard one, how easy it was. I think it was quoted around 25 million. And it was there in the face. And then Inter just came in out of nowhere and just decided to get him. I don't understand it. Like, Inter just came out of nowhere. I went, yeah, we'll have him. How's that possible?
It's possible because we had a priority order in terms of recruitment, right? The priority order was to get the goalkeeper, the striker, and then the centre back was the last priority. So it happened to be that Kim Min-jae was very early in the season. He had a release clause, and that's why we lost start, because it was not our first priority. Bank of America gave us a last credit draft of 120 million. The rest we had to finesse. So that's why you saw a lot of fire sales within the youth academy, but they were incompetent. They didn't generate enough money. That's the thing, right? We could have gone Kim Min-jae if it was in the right priority order. That's the thing. So when we came down to the nitty gritty, we were finishing off our money. We had to construct a loan fucking deal for Amrabat. And thank God that Amrabat only wanted to play for Manchester United. He rejected Liverpool twice. He rejected Juventus. He rejected PSG. He said, "No, I only want to play for Ten Hag, Manchester United. I will strike." And that was a lock, to be honest. Otherwise, we would have been in a shambles.
So tomorrow's game, we're done out here. You go in tomorrow's game. I don't think I'm going to make
tomorrow.
I'm going to see if I can make it, but I've got.
Have you got a ticket? I'll see. I think Adam was.
No. It's not even about a ticket. I can get a ticket, but it's about a couple of things I've got to do tomorrow. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
But what are you thinking? What do you think the score is? You pick that team.
I'm gonna go.
You pick Evans. You pick Evans. Amrabat left. You picked Rashford. To me, if I see tomorrow, okay. This is what my team is. I don't want to fucking see.
Yeah.
Oh God, I got stuff. I don't want to see Bruno.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Bruno. I do not want to see Bruno on the right wing. I do not want to see Bruno on the effing right wing. I'm just telling you now. And you know what? Shame on you guys. Shame on you. 83 likes and there's over 240 of you. That is, you're taking the piss, isn't it? You're taking
That's a shame.
You're taking the piss. Like, smash a like on it. It costs you absolutely nothing. Absolutely not. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. So Bruno, I don't want to see him on the right. I want to see Pellistri to be given a game. I think Hannibal deserves another game because of the running stats.
Yeah.
I think Garnacho deserves because he got back. I think that I personally tomorrow will not play Bruno or Rashford. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not. I will not play either of them. I would have them options to come off the bench.
One of them has to be on, though. One of them has to be on. I think
it would be Bruno, Captain Bruno.
Bruno. At least
I'm not having him on the right wing side. I'm not having him on the right wing.
No. Play Bruno in the center.
No, he's not going to do that, though. He's going to try this again, this kind of diamond. No, man, we're not here for that shit, man. We're not here for that. This diamond BS. So what are you going to see when you see Bruno on the right wing tomorrow?
We're done with this James Bond diamond stuff forever, right? We are done with that.
I think I'll be done with that, man. I'll be done with that James Bond diamond, like you said, man. I think for me, Mount might play on the right-hand side. That could be a possibility. Mount on the right.
Yeah, because he played there for Chelsea, actually. I prefer Mount all day because he's got the legs to go up and down.
Happen. Yeah, Mount could happen, to be fair. But
on the right.
Listen, we just need to get the win, man. I know it sounds cliche, but get the result, man. Get the points on. We need to build momentum. This game, the game against what's it called? Galatasaray and then Brentford. If you get 3 out of 3 going to national break, that should be good, man. But you just don't know with this football club, man. Like you said, that stat there, you worried me, Nordin, now. That stat there, I could just see it tomorrow. Worst start in 38 years, did you say?
34 years.
34 years. That's the worst start by any manager.
Manchester United tomorrow. It's the worst top flight start in 34 years.
Let's not jinx it.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yeah.
He was signaling United's worst start to a league campaign for 34 years. This is where we're at. So tell me, what do you think the score's going to be?
3-1. I want to go 3-1.
I know you've got to go, but just quickly.
Yeah, man.
Do you think Sancho's done out here at Manchester United?
Well, I just seen it right now. I don't know if you see the quotes from Fabrizio Romano. You might have to go check the quotes, but he's just said, someone asked him a question. What's the difference between Anthony and Sancho? And he said one's internal, one's external. So, you can tell that he's still pissed off about the situation. He's probably not said apologize and whatnot. I don't know. I just think the whole thing's getting a bit forced now, man. Just, either Sancho has to say sorry or they've got to come to some sort of situation because it's silly, isn't it? It's silly, man. Can't allow to train nothing. Like, something's got to change, man, because he'll keep getting a bit annoyed about the question as well. Like, what's going on? Where is he? The report every week will be like, what's the latest on Sancho? What's the latest on Sancho?
Yeah.
He might, you know what? All right, then come back in the house then. You know when you just was banned from the house and you weren't allowed in? And then all of a sudden, be like, all right, then it's raining now. Get in now. So I feel like it might be that situation. So I don't know. I think for me, listen, the manager, we back the manager, but Sancho, it's your career, innit? What do? Do you just swallow your pride maybe and just say, you know what? Okay, then.
No, he's gone.
He's my fault.
Last question before you go, Sai. Do you think the club made the right decision to bring Anthony back, in your opinion?
Yeah, because for me, though, what you got to remember, he's innocent until proven guilty. So, end of the day, it's the right decision for me because end of the day, if he's allowed to play, then he's allowed to play. If he was found guilty or charged, I think for me, you would have had to suspend him. So, that's the way I kind of look at it for me, man. So, it
But
is
she
what
was
it is.
after she was after lawsuits and big money. That's the thing, right? She wanted money.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to really get into what she wanted, who these women are. At the end of
Yeah,
it, there's
yeah.
a
We don't
problem
know
with
yet.
the
We
kid.
don't know intentions yet.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, there's a problem with him, and for me, it's about Manchester United, and no way could Manchester United. To me, the writing was on the wall when Brazil dropped him, Saeed. And when Brazil dropped
Yeah.
him, then there
Yeah.
was no way Manchester United could play him and put him out the next week.
Actually, he wasn't dropped. He withdrawn
Mo's,
by his advice of his agent, Junior Pedrosa.
Mo's on to you, man. Mo's on to you, man. But listen, I've got to shoot, man. Big up to Mo. Mo's on to Nuruddin. Love, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Love
Big
you.
up, guys, man.
Good to see you, man.
Video, people.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. Big up. Make sure you check out Saeed TV and all social media, people. Go and check out.
Big up, Saeed.
Those 3 shows a day. I'm one of the hardest working YouTubers out here, people.
Oh God,
so
this guy streams every league.
Yeah. He's doing it. Listen,
He's doing
big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Let me see how many likes we got on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Big up Eski. Big up Eski. Love and light, bro. I hope you're well. If you're in work, shout out. Stephanie Griffin, big up to you. I'll ask you the same questions about Sancho. To me, he's done out here. It's gone on for far too long. I think January is the earliest. But then for me, I know the bankers and I know how the bankers work. And I know how greedy Joel Grazer and Avram, Bald Mullet, Avram Glazer work. I know how they work. So this is something where it's going to be where you've signed a kid for £73 million. You are now, he's not even training with the first team. So you're not even seeing him anywhere on the pitch for him to get good running.
Or in the cantina or close by.
All of this. Yeah, all of this. So in January, he's going to be alone. Yet another player, Manchester United, will have to take a massive dent and hit on. So for me, it's just tragic the way it's ended. I don't know who the hell is advising him. I said it. I made a plea to him last week. I did a video specifically where I spent a large junction of him and said, Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United are going to be behind you. You're still young enough to go and go to some other club and continue your football career. But this level of stubbornness that you've got, this momentary where you can still play 0.0 something youngsters make it to become professional footballers. You're one of the lucky gifted ones. You've made it to a professional. And now the most important thing for a professional is that everybody understands the football career is short. It can be very short. About one bad injury can take you away and wreck your career. So this idea now, you're training with the children, you're back to where you were as a youth player and now as a proper professional footballer, is embarrassing. Regardless what it is, they're not going to sack the manager. You ain't going to win this one because they're not going to sack the manager anytime soon. So you do and say what needs to be done for you to get back. Then put decent performances on and get the F out of Manchester United. But you're not even doing that. You're not thinking about the bigger picture. Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United could be yesterday's news to you if you wanted it to. So that's my 2 pence on Sancho. And I think it's gone on far too long, but I can see a loan move coming in January. Do you agree or disagree? A loan move for him in January?
Yeah, go first, Mick.
Yeah. Well, I heard from the club officials 1 week before. I mean, when it happened, there was a massive bust up between him and Ten Hag, and he said some really bad shit, to be honest. And everyone has been trying to sort of calm him down, but normally you calm down a bit and then you apologize, but he refused to apologize. What you do in this situation is I agree with you. Who is advising you? Who is your agent? And agent is telling you stand your ground, but at the end of the day, it's going to hurt you, because if you are displaying this kind of behavior, who wants to buy you at the end of the day? Who wants to play you because you're a bad apple? You know what I mean? Are you going to cause problems? It's not going to serve you well. And there's only one way it's going to be the winner, and that's the club. That's the club. You can't win. You can't win. The gaffer is the gaffer. You don't go against the gaffer, and you don't go against your teammates. And I agree with you saying, like, if you want to get yourself out of the January window, like, ship up, apologize to your teammates, apologize to the gaffer, get some game game minutes, and off you go. But I think at this instant, like if you get new ownership in before January, what they might do is just rip up his contract and misconduct, and off you go, right? Take the losses, because this was a Glazer signing anyway, right? On the Glazer stewardship. If you get new ownership, you just cut your losses, and they don't care because they want to build a squad that's successful and that wants to compete. And he's apparently not in that mentality. Like it's you're getting paid $350 grand a week, like, and behaving like this. And I don't know what the problem is. Is he removed your Instagram account, and is there something wrong with you up here, or I don't know what you're smoking, mate? You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, I don't think I want to belittle, because he suffer from mental health problems last season.
Yeah,
he did suffer from mental health, so I'm not going to try to. We shouldn't try to belittle that side of it. And I did think, and even if new owners will not rip up his contract, he can sue the club. At the end of the day, he's had a disagreement with a manager. That's not constitute enough for him to his contract to be ripped up. But I know what you mean. There'll be other ways to get him out of the football club, by sending him a loan and then paying him his wages, and then see you later. Paying out the rest of his contract.
There's so many talented footballers in the grassroots leagues. Like we're talking about, if you go over to Latin America, like they would die to play in that position for minimum wage. You know what I mean? But they get so much talent. Of course, the boy has got talent. We've seen the talent, but we haven't seen it, right? Ever since he came to Manchester United, he hasn't sort of been consistent. We've seen glimpses, right?
I genuinely do think he was in finishing the season. He was one of the bright guys, because he didn't play every game last season. But I think last season he had a good season. Me personally, the games that I went to Old Trafford, he was one of the guys who changed games last season. But at the end of the day, the manager didn't fancy him. Again, it comes back to fucking Murta and Arnold, because the Manchester United let it be known they were listening to offers for him, Jarvis. So who does all this go back to? The manager don't fancy you. It's clear. Ten Hag don't fancy you. He went and bought a guy that from his other club to go play in your position. At the end of the day, it's like, that's the biggest sign, right? Then he tried to work with you, sent you away, give you some head start. But again, in the summer, Manchester United let it be known 13 players were going to be all on the to be got rid of. They did, majority of them, all the youngsters, but it was McFred, Maguire, Anthony Martial, and Sancho, and Donny van de Beek. And Sancho's not gone. And officially, Manchester United were letting it be known to top clubs that Sancho, if you met the price, see you later. So where does he go back to again?
Well, let me go on a rant here, if you don't mind, Jarvis. Listen, it's clear and obvious that we're talking about the Manchester United is like McDonald's, right? And Murta is Ronald McDonald, the bloody clown. You know what I mean? So me coming with my wish list to say, Johnny boy, catch, this is what I want, and I don't fancy Chelsea. Sell him to Chelsea, right? All right. 2 weeks left of the transfer window, Ten Hag knocks on the door, like, what's going on? I'm sorry, you ordered a Big Mac supersize, but I give you a little bit of a Happy Meal and a toy. Are you happy now? No, 100%. Listen, it's been clearly overruled. Like you've seen players like Scott McTominay, like Harry Maguire, it's been overruled. Like him, there was clearly links for Sancho to go to Chelsea or other clubs, even on going loan, but they were blocked, right? So the apparatus above Ten Hag has actually screwed him over in transfer window, 100%. If you look at it that way, right? So who's now suffering? Who is now being under scrutiny? Ten Hag out for the past couple of 3 weeks, right? But you got to look at what's above, right? True.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's a fake football director. It's a fake operation above. They don't know jack shit. We have a fake CEO that doesn't know anything. He's trying to make himself as an image that he cares, but that needs to change. If we're going to still remain with the same structure, we ain't going nowhere, right? If your top four is what you're aiming for, just to make more dollar signs. But if your manager and the leadership above you don't have the same vision and the culture and the same intent, you're never going to get anywhere. So it ain't matter if you're going to go sack Ten Hag and bring in this Serbia, the next shining toy, they would end up on the same path. It's a graveyard. right?
Yeah.
They got Mick. Jarvis, talk to me.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, Stephanie Griffith, 108 likes. We can do better. So, people, if you like a real footballing discussion and you like to hear our opinions, please hit the like. I just want to say, when it comes to Sancho, first of all, when it comes to his mental health issues and stuff like that, we don't know anything. We have heard bits and pieces, but our discussion, at least from my side, is purely on football basis. So other than that, so when it comes to his attitude, it's something wrong with his attitude, as I see it, because okay, we signed Anthony for 90 millions approximately, and he got some competition. So what do you do when you play for a club like Manchester United? You should expect competition. You shouldn't be moaning about the competition. He should step up his game. But that's the problem. He don't have the right attitude for me. He's a super talented footballer, but in Europe at top level, there's probably hundreds of talented football players, but it's about mentality. We see a couple of players in other big clubs, the mentality, the winning mentality, how they train, how they approach training, how they approach professionality and the game. And I don't think Sancho has it in him. He had a tough spell last season. He was out 3 months. He came back. He was actually pretty good in the last 4 to 5 games. He established himself on the right side. He had a okay summer. He was played out of position. He played as a false 9, but he was good. He looked like he has been training hard and doing his thing. But then again, when he meet a little bit of resistance, he didn't get to play. What happened? It's about his mentality. He should have when he met some uphill and he didn't get to play. Okay, what you do? You can sit down and piss and moan, or you can work even harder. He chose the first, and that's my problem with Sancho.
Just convoke, mate.
Listen, can I just say, the biggest thing for me is that it's not the first or the second. At the end of the day, I blame this on the football club because the manager does not fancy him. It's clear to see. You can work hard as you like. The manager don't fancy you. It's humans. We've all been in jobs where people don't really fancy you. So you can work hard as you want. When a manager says you are on the list of players that need to leave, you need to leave. I just want to get this. Big up Mark. Mark N says, you wanted to play. No. You know what you say? We bought you because you played of your Dortmund form. That's when we bought you. You played 22 times on the right, 21 times on the left. You're playing on the right. We've already got Rashford and Garnacho and these guys who play in there. You're playing on the right. So at the end of the day, I don't buy that. That's Ollie to try to sensationalize bullshit because he wants to get back in a job. It was pathetic interview, by the way. Absolutely pathetic. I'm sorry, but it was. For him to come out and say, oh, some people didn't want to be the captain. Get them out of the effing football club then. People are refusing captaincy. Get them out of the football club. It's an absolute joke, man. That interview to me was a joke. It was the biggest. And when I see Andy Mitten, I'll tell him, where's the hard questions? The guy's been there with the clowns, protecting the clowns. Where is the hard questions that you're asking about the ownership? Where were those questions, Andy? Where were those questions? What was this, some little softball so Ollie can look for? Listen, let me separate the two. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the legend of Manchester United. Absolutely. But more joys to me than anybody else has. Absolute babyface assassin for a reason. We would all sing Ollie, Ollie, Ollie anytime we needed a goal. Fergie would look to the crowd and strip for them. Then straight away he'll be warming up and coming on and banging goals. Ollie as a manager missed me with that bullshit, especially protecting those fucking clowns, the Glazers and Richie Arnold and the rest, and Woodwards of this world. Absolute joke. That interview was a joke, and to me, it made me more angry because I know what it is. It's to get back in the media now because the NDA's run out. But anyway, I'll put that to a side. For me, the Jadon Sancho thing is there. It's an issue. Erik ten Hag, the decision was made above him, like Mick explained, that he's here to stay. Now, he should have got his head down and think, how can I force the manager at least to give me a couple of minutes here and there? I do believe that you can work hard because the manager don't fancy you. right? But you can, with the training, the way you train, to get minutes here and there, and then to get the hell out here. Him and his agent to work out a move or a loan for him to get out of the football club. I would do that because I would want to play football, a place where I'm wanted. It's very difficult to play a place where you're not wanted. And to me, as soon as I saw in preseason him playing as a false nine, I'm like, Hoyland comes in. Where are you going, son? Where are you going? And then when I saw Garnacho start the first 2 games and Rashford go up front, and he doesn't even get any minutes to come on and play. And I actually thought against Spurs, he looked bright when he came on. So at the end of the day, you have one of your best preseasons, and 18-year-old, 19-year-old gets ahead of you. To me, it tells me everything you need to know. But listen, I could go and talk about this all day and long. Anthony's situation, quickly, Jarvis. Was it right for the club to play him, to bring him back?
Yeah, I believe so. He's they didn't find anything in the charges. There's no charges, and I think we can't keep going on the accusations and just ruining people's careers. There's nothing.
Let me just correct what you said. No, both of the police are investigating. Both police, so Manchester police, Brazilian police, both of them are running their investigations. So it's been investigated. He went to Manchester police yesterday. So photos him coming out of Manchester police station.
He's collaborating with them.
Yeah.
He handed up his phone and everything.
Yeah. 2 hours he was there. 2 hours he spent. That's a long time to spend. So he is cooperating with police, and he's been interviewed by police. That's what's the things to say. So we don't know if any charges are going to be brought up from the statement of Manchester United. I don't want to go over it, but it seems like they're backing their man. So that the question is to you, Mick. Do you agree with the way they're backing their man?
Well, I can read between the lines and I can follow the timelines, and basically he's been collaborating, handing over his phone, so he's backing himself, and he's been saying all along, like, I'm totally innocent. And I don't listen to the gossips. At the end of the day, what they know, what we know, the truth will come out, right? And obviously if he's allowed back to training, there is no serious allegations, because she was basically suing him for money. But just want to come back to bring back what you said about that manager didn't fancy certain players, right? And the only reason why, okay, you can have the talent, you can have the ability, Nuruddin, but if you don't have what suits the manager's attitude, right? Because if you look at the overall squad, he fosters certain culture, he fosters certain attitude, a winning mentality. If you don't apply the same attitude, then you're out of there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, under Oli was like, players picked himself under the favorites, but that is gone with Ten Hag. Gaffer picks you, you don't pick yourself, right?
I don't necessarily agree. I think every manager has their favorites. I think every human being's different. I think managers have to be psychologists at times, so the best of them have to be psychologists. I believe that, but they will have their favorites. I do understand. Some managers will give hard work and effort and reward that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, but hang on, like, if you all of a sudden not getting picked, it's like, hang on, why I'm not getting picked? Like, I'm gonna prove him wrong. Like, I'm gonna work harder than the last time. Like,
I agree
that's
with
what
that.
I'm doing.
I agree,
but I'm not down tooling. Like, in this case, I'm down tooling, and I pissed on everything what the manager is doing. And in a normal work situation, you will get fired for that, right? And regarding hard questions, linking this back to Anthony and Jadon Sancho, if you watched the presser conference today, I mean, those Simon Stones, and oh my God, they were literally going and repeating. Like, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. And they were like trying different questions. And they said, already, it's in the statement. It's in the statement. I don't want to talk about it. But I want to big up this Ada Wong. I never heard of Ada Wong, but she had a little bit of an Asian. She asked proper footballing questions. Oh my God. While the others privileged ones that are sitting there, like, to try to create these clickbait stories, were only asking these gossip questions. Nothing about how you're going to play. What's the team news? No. And you're spending there like, 15 minutes trying to get something out of this press conference. So big shout out to this Ada Wong, proper, like, good question.
Yeah, big up Jarvis. To me, Anthony, they've gambled. They've said it. definitely he was never going to play after Brazil dropped him. Brazil took him out of the squad. And for me, Manchester United, because after the Mason Greenwood and that's the way that what they try to do with Mason, they were never going to bring him back. Do I think that both is similar? No, it's not. They're different. They're very different things between both of them. One, the evidence is out there. One, you've got a couple of photos here and there. And it is what it is in terms of what it is. Windy, I'm not going to lie to you. Ollie will be back under the Glazer, if Glazer stay and Glazer ownership. And by the way,
as the director of football.
Listen, yeah, exactly. No, exactly. And you know what? To be fair, she's been saying that. So big up to Windy, our sister in the US. Ten Hag's first preseason in Australia, Rashford, Martial, Sancho were great with free-flowing football. Even with that, Ten Hag went to get to Anthony. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is how it is, isn't it? This is how it is. This is how it
But
works.
he let them do whatever they wanted. So they had a little bit of tyranny. They had player power. Here you got an authoritarian to say, no, you should follow my rules or you get punished. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But the biggest thing is that Liverpool have been bought, FSG have sold. I always knew. So Liverpool were not for sale, and now they've took some investment. I don't know if any of you know. Obviously, we do keep an eye on our nearest and biggest rivals, and they are basically been, I think 30-something percent. Is that what they bought for FSG?
I haven't heard. No.
Yeah. So they've agreed. Liverpool have agreed. The club is basically FSG has agreed to selling portion of the club. I don't know if it's 15%, but they've sold it to an American
investment.
Is that what it is?
God, yeah. Another, they're going to be screwed.
Here we go. I've got the thing here. Liverpool FSG agreed to sell a minority stake in the club worth 82 million 164 million to a dynasty equity
firm. Oh my God, they're going down.
The new investment will primarily be used to pay off the club's bank debt. Okay.
It's one of them.
Our long-term commitment to Liverpool remains strong as ever. FSG said President Matt Gordon. We have always said if there was an investment partner right for Liverpool, then we would pursue the opportunity to ensure the club's long-term financial resilience for the future growth.
So they bought up the bond, basically. They bought up the debt, and that's going to be triple. Oh my God. I smell something here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't care. It's Liverpool. Whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you in terms of just to say, obviously, the Jim Ratcliffe was, again, I didn't bother doing a video about it because I think this saga is a circus itself, this sale. So Jim Ratcliffe apparently is saying he's restructuring his deal to buy Manchester United.
It's a nothing burger.
I just wanted to ask both of you your opinion. I'll go to Mick, Mick first.
Well, I did a video about it as well, and it's a nothing burger. It's an old story as well. They're circulating, and you have David Hellier from Bloomberg. Because you are from Bloomberg, David Hellier is appearing on certain fan channels. And when he was doing that interview, I think it was with Flex, wasn't it? Right? Yeah, it was with Flex, right? And if you listen to that, he didn't really know, and he said it's a colleague story, and he is more speculating. But just because it's a restructure of a deal doesn't mean that it's more money. It's more just restructuring. At the end of the day, you had the minority investor that was threatening for legal actions because they want to get a payout as well. So if Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he just wanted to buy let's say 61% or whatever, but that means that the minority investors, they're not going to get paid out. They're going to be left out. So what is he doing here? He's just restructuring a bit. At the end of the day, I think it's just I've been always saying that I feel a little bit that he's been used as a prop and smokescreen just to get more money out of the Qataris. You know what I mean? There was stories to say he was dead out of the water a long time ago because why? They're not cash rich; they're only asset rich. In order to liquidate assets and sell assets, it's going to take you years, right? And then you have two other co-owners as well, right? So I think it's just a prop and smokescreen, and at the end of the day, the gravy train continues in terms of click and generating as much money as you can on selling these stories. And if you look at what you have to do, if you read that story, you have to pay money to read the Bloomberg subscription. But unfortunately, I had people in my community sent me this article, and I was reading it through, and it's like, this is a nothing burger, to be honest, right? So again, clickbaited.
Okay.
On the other hand, David Ornstein is another sports journalist, and Aramband Sen from Reuters, right? They don't tweet, they don't speak much about it, but when there's something to say, they will put it out there. That's the thing, right? But on the other hand, what we've been seeing, these so-called transfer guru experts, what some papers are saying, Ben Jacobs and all of them, since when did you become a transfer expert? I mean, takeover expert, right? So it's been just circulations, and the one that's getting hurt is us. We are definitely on the right track according to mergers and acquisitions plan. Like, we are 10 months in, and this saying that we're going to hear some major updates within 3-4 weeks at least as well. So yeah, I believe they're going to close the shop because they are in big mess. Buccaneers as well. Big up to the big protest in Buccaneers, on the Tampa as well.
Yeah, big up to those.
I see the biggest problem with Ratcliffe is how, or Ineos, how are they going to
they can't
make us debt free? I read the statement, and he talked about he will sell parts of the club for the debt. It's like ludicrous, and that's what the Glazers have been trying for the last 5 years. Can't be done. No one will take on 1 billion in debt.
Nobody wants no. And the banks will not give you the loan.
And 3/4 of the debt is going to. The plan is to sell parts of the club for 3/4 of the debt, and he will pay down the rest by our income revenue. Yeah. Man United's revenue.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and his plan is to get us debt free in 2 years. It can't be done. It's fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been trying to restructure your deal by running around to JP Morgan and all the banks, and they've been knocking you down. Say nobody wants to give you that kind of money at the moment. What's your business plan? What's your liquidity? So basically, all the minority investors fell off. Like, nobody's gonna give it. We're living in a bank crisis at the moment, right? We have massive recessions. I'm not going to talk about the geopolitics side of it, but at the end of the day, what is the cleaner deal? Like, if you're the Glazers, you just put yourself in the Glazers' head, right? All you care about is money, the Benjamins, what you're going to get out of this deal, right? If somebody's going to give you, like, you've been partying for 18 years, like on a VIP table down in Ibiza, right? Having girls on all the table, Magnum, champagne bottles, Grey Goose, and all that stuff, racking up 1 billion in debt, like on your credit card. If somebody's all of a sudden coming and paying you that off, you partied for free for 18 years, right? And plus, they're going to give you 1 billion each in each pocket to walk away. I'm not talking about a hangover here. I'm talking about positive endorphins. Of course, that's Glazeonomics. They would take that. But on the other hand, Jim Ratcliffe is trying to say, okay, well, I give you 2.4 right now, and then maybe in 3 years we see how it's performing. But it's all depending on how the stock market is performing. And there's no way, like, I see it's a nothing burger at the end of the day, like,
his plans and his plans with the stadium and the training facilities.
But that's the thing, right?
He's talk about building a little bit extra on Old Trafford each season.
That's the thing, like, you are reaching to your twilights of your career and age, and you said in interviews, like, David and I, we spoke about it's our dream to own a Premier League club, right? He said that. That's the thing. But one thing is to own it, and one thing is to how you be sustainable to continue developing, right? Nice wasn't successful. It's like, I do this analogy, Nora. Are you with me? Like, you have two candidates to say both wants to buy the 2 red Ferraris, right? Yeah, sure. Ratcliffe can buy this Ferrari, but how are you going to fuel it to run? Because this Ferrari needs petrol fuel. And then you look at, 92 Holding, Sheikh Yassim. You can buy this Ferrari, you can buy many Ferraris, and plus he owns a bloody petrol station as well. You know what I mean? So they are playing a good game, like Qataris. They've been quiet, they've been silent, because at the end, any time they can just, like, whatever you're offering, we will overpay. We are a proud nation. We came out to announce that we are going to be in for Manchester United, and we're going to get Manchester United.
Well, we'll see.
The only one that can stop this deal is the Glazers not selling. That's the only thing.
For me, we're suffering as fans. The club is suffering.
We are.
The more weekly this goes on, the stadium is rotting, even more rotting. I saw again water on the floor leaking from the toilets onto the forecourts where you can get the beers. Jarvis, you've been there. You've been there. You saw it. Yeah. Big up, Stephanie. Big up to everybody. At the end of the day, listen, I'm listening to aspects of Ten Hag's interview. It's part 2 of his interview.
Oh, is it part 2?
Yeah, it's out now.
Yeah, the part 2's out now. And just a couple of questions about. He said there's nobody who can play left back that to come from the under 21s. Somebody's not going to be able to use. He said just left backs is a problem. The centre halves they're stacked, and I'm like, you know, Varane plays for you, yeah, and he's out. Licha's out now. Like that's 2 centre halves gone. Are you playing with Evans and Maguire? Come on. I know sometimes managers got to be positive, but it's just I can't stand the Jackanory stories and the reality. We know as fans, we go to the stadium, we know who's what's going on. So at the end of the day, is that he was asked a question about Hannibal. Hannibal ran more than any other Manchester United player this season, and the journalist asked him, "Is he showing a standard?" And Ten Hag's like, "Is he showing up his teammate basically?" And Ten Hag agreed and said, "Yeah, he's showing up the rest of them. This is the standard. This is what needs to be done." So we'll see if he starts tomorrow. We'll definitely see what starts tomorrow. I'll go to you, Mick. Give me a score for tomorrow. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm positive that we have a high scoring because if I look at Roy Hodgson, he gave so much respect and praise afterwards. And
I think he could be teeing us up. That's all. One person will say so much praise. The other person would say, "Oh, okay, he's lulling us into a false pretense."
Depends on who is defending. I mean, I would love to see a third consecutive clean sheet for Onana. He's been having and it's so important that we just get 3 points and we kick on from here, right? That's the thing, because wins fosters mentality, confidence. So we need so we're coming in on the back of the 2 games wins in a row. So 100%. I would go about. I hate to say it, but I'll usually go 3-1 United, but I hopefully will be 3-0 United. My heart wants 3-0 United, but my mind says 3-1 United.
Okay. Big up to everybody. I personally do think it's going to be a 1-0 or something like that, or a 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a 3-0. But because they've learned, they're going to come, they're going to set their stall out, and they're going to give a better performance than they did on Saturday. But it's up to Manchester United what we do. Yeah. Can we repeat what we did? Can we keep the ball as well as we did? We move it as quick as we did? Do we do all of that? But it's going to be very interesting. But we can't be passive. I talked about it at the beginning of the thing. SA's movement, they play very narrow. I've done the tactical scouting on them. They play very narrow. They play, if you press too high up against them, Henderson's can switch that ball all day, every day, and play it to people's feet. They do cheat their wing. Anderson.
Oh yeah, I thought Henderson. I thought you said
no, Anderson. Sorry, Anderson. I meant to say Anderson, the centre half. He's one of the best I've seen live.
Yes.
Best I've seen live come past the ball as a centre half. Honestly, especially his long diags are brilliant. I'd say he's had more take-ons.
He pocketed Holland.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah. So he has more take-ons, SA, than anybody else in the Premier League this season. He's the take-on king. He 10 more than the second best take-ons in the Premier League. He's nearly up to 20 take-ons, dribbles. And he's brilliant. Schlupp is a good player. And they've got Ayew on the other side. He's a good player. But they're playing with, what's his name? The other guy. Who they're playing? The guy that played the other night is bigger, strong. But their main striker, he's out. The main striker is out. So they're playing the big man that played the other night. So I think 1-0, 2-1 Manchester United. But go ahead, Jarvis. What do you think the score's going to be? Predict the score, people. Let's predict the score.
You said take on. You said take on. We have a Norwegian that take on me.
Yeah, we got a Norwegian. But well, that song, that's his soundtrack. Ethe, danger, absolute danger.
Take on me.
And Manchester United struggled against Nottingham Forest and against Wolves this season, against Brighton, people who can carry the ball and run with it. So
yeah.
it's very dangerous time. But go ahead, Jarvis. What do you think? What's going to happen?
Yeah, the game. It's important that we are on the front foot. I think Crystal Palace will have respect for us. I don't think they will try to attack us. They will park the bus. They will try to slow us down and ruin the tempo of the game, and try on transitions. I'm almost 100% sure that Palace will try to be defensive against us. It's about our clinicality. They have Anderson as a center back. He's really good against big, strong strikers. He pocketed Haaland in the first game last season. I think
Hoyland.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Haaland? Yeah.
Haaland.
Anderson pocketed Haaland for Manchester City last season in the first game when Palace, because Palace they always play good against big teams. They did against City.
Their record in Manchester is fantastic.
Yeah. So we got to be aware, and tomorrow we need to be clinical. We need to score on our chances, because it will be hard against the low block. We need to move our feet, and I think as long as we play at the same tempo as we did last game, and that we can lure them over to one side and cross the ball diagonal to the other side, and have some open space, we can go at them one at one. Then we will that will be the opening. So for me, that will be important. So I think we will win. My prediction is 3-1, but when I think of it, I don't think we will score 3 goals. So maybe it will be 1-0 or 2-1. Yes,
they have Anderson is the Danish guy, right? And then Mateta will probably start. You have Schlupp, and then you have Esse. Esse is the guy to look out for, right?
He's the danger guy. And we've struggled players who carry the ball, and he's the best at it in the Premier League so far this season. So
the solution is Hannibal. We just man mark him with Hannibal.
Yeah, we stop him, and that's why for me, I'm shocked that at Manchester United. Like,
listen, I can't believe it still. Like, when we sat down, when you did your rant about Alvaro Fernandez, like, I just don't understand who made the decision when we had injury crisis in that position to let him go.
And you know what? I said
he showed so much promise in the preseason, and I was adamant and confident he's going to stay. He's going to stay, and he's going to get his game time.
Mickey, let me tell you this, right? I promise you, I've been to a championship game. It's one of the, I don't know if any of you's ever been to watch championship game.
I have never.
It's one of the most competitive leagues in world football. I'll repeat, it's one of the most competitive, high-paced leagues in world football.
Mm-hmm.
The kid won an award. It's not like he was playing for Sunderland or playing for Middlesbrough or playing for playing for Preston North End.
Yeah,
they're one of them founding members of the league, like the English football, but they're nowhere to be seen now. And he won an award as the best young player last season. At the end of the day, it's shocking. And we go and get Reguilón, a guy who's not had any football for a very long time, and only made 3 starts the whole of last season for Atletico Madrid. He had 12 game involvement in the whole season. And when Levy's giving you the guy without any loan fee, that is a dud coming. It's shocking. For me, it shows me again how Manchester United are running it. That's why.
And he's going to say at the end of the season, "You want to buy him? You want to buy him?"
And then have you seen the marketing stuff they're doing for him? And by the way, big up Saeed. Saeed telling us about, or was it you were telling us, Mick, about Manchester United buying a centre half? Get the F out of here, Neil.
No, that was not me. That was Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, but who's he getting the briefing from? Neil Ashton.
Of course,
that's the club brief. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, you can't.
It's typical in Ashton trait, like, divide and conquer. Look this way while we will keep robbing you. All right. Here's the thing. The thing is with this Glazer, this Ratcliffe thing came out the day after the Tampa Bay protest. Came out, the story from Bloomberg was leaked out to say that Ratcliffe is a restructuring deal. Perfect timing. Straight after, just the silence for us to forget about what really happened in Tampa Bay.
Listen,
it's the machine.
It's a joke. It's tragic, but it's what it is. But Jarvis, you reckon we're going to win tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, we will win tomorrow. 2-1. My prediction yesterday was 3-1, but I got to moderate myself and say 2-1.
Okay, big up to you, Jarvis. Listen, we're
3
sorry
points.
that we didn't go live, guys, for a couple of days in this week. It's been a really busy week for us here in Manchester. So big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow for the match reaction after the game somehow. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole game. I might watch the game after it's finished. Watch it. So then I can come and do a proper match reaction. But it is what it is, people. Manchester United are what we are. For me, it's just crazy. And if any clown says to you, Manchester United have had a good transfer window, tell them where to go and jump. Because to me, it's shocking that he 3 centre halves. His first choice was Kim Min-jae. His second choice was Pavard. His third choice was Talibo. And he's still got Maguire and fucking Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
A guy that will never be signed, never would be signed by a Championship or League 2 club. It just shows you this is who we are.
But Nuruddin, that's the typical 18-month cycle for any manager in the club. They give you the first season, second season, they fuck you over, right? As soon as you made Champions League, they will not invest anything. And
it's crazy. It's crazy. It is what
about Pochettino? Nobody's talking about Poch.
No. At the end of the day, to be fair, I don't blame Poch. I think any manager that's going in there when you buy that influx of many players, it's going to take time to settle in. I personally think Chelsea have played better football than Manchester United. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched their games. They just can't score. They haven't got.
They don't have a striker.
Yeah, so they do everything but score. I'd be shocked and surprised if they didn't make any chances. They're conceding a lot of goals, and they're not finishing their chances, and that's a disaster. When you're not finishing your chances and then you're conceding a lot of goals, it's not a good way. But to me, I think again, it's the same. When you have that many players who are bought for that amount of money, and then you're still buying players, and you've got all of those players, it's ridiculous for a manager to build the cohesion and the team.
Look, they're screwed now after this season. They cannot do this restructuring deals offering 8 years contracts. You know what I mean? This is the last time they can do that. So what are they going to do now? Are they going to go and get Victor Osimhen for what?
Yeah.
It's like...
Listen, it is what it is. But big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. But make sure you check out Man UFC Realist TV, Mick Ruby. Make sure you check out Java's at Bowley77 on Twitter, and you can find them both on Man UFC Realist TV. They're both part of this fantasy football. Go and pit your wits against them. You're not part of it anymore? Have you stopped that?
I keep forgetting to submit my scores for my team. I'm too busy.
Okay. Well,
I'm part of it, but I don't know. I'm just keep forgetting.
Well, you don't know where the table is, so it'll be interesting to go and see where the table is. Go and put your wits at least against Jarvis if Mick is forgetting about it. Big up to every one of you. Thank you. If you want to follow us, we're on here, people. At the end of the day, we keep it raw, we keep it real, and that's how it is. And I promise you, you've come to the wrong effing channel, man. Ahmed, I think the guy was called. You've come. If you want me to tell you Jackie Nori stories and tell you about, everything's gonna be all right, and this channel is real and it's raw and it's red. If you can't take it, you've come to the wrong channel. Unsubscribe quick as you can, and go to swear in a lovely, lovely world where everything's all soft and cuddly and everything's like you listen to what Neil Ashton says, and everything's about winning the Carabao Cup and finishing top 4, and there's other things that Manchester United should be content with, and this is who we are now, and all of that. If you want real, raw, keeping it 100%, what's going on at this football club, you've come to the right. I don't chat shit, people. I do my fucking research. I laughed at Ragley on signing. I laughed at it. People are like, why are you laughing? Go and look up what he did last season. 3 starts, 9 appearances, 12 in all. Levy giving him away for free, begging Manchester United to take him.
Look,
this is what we have. We got pretend people who are running the football structure, pretenders who are now making decisions, sending Fernandes on. When this is the flipping football club where youngsters make their names. You see Hannibal, given an opportunity, he runs more than anybody in that football pitch.
The thing is, you speak with passion. You love this club more than anything else. It's who you are. It's in your heart, right? And if somebody's misusing that, of course you're going to speak. Yeah. But I would just say that, barring the situation we have now, we got to do the best out of the situation. But the major thing, what I want to see this season, new ownership, right? New
No, to
ownership.
me, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I told you, I've already told my workplace I'm taking a week off because I'm going to celebrate like it's the Champions League, like 3 Champions Leagues, 5 league titles, 4 FA Cups. That's what I'm going to celebrate. That's what I'm going to celebrate because I know then Manchester United go back. We have a reset and go back to being a football club. We go back to being a football club.
We need a big reset.
This is it. This is it, people. And clowns will be sicked out. And that's why it breaks my heart. Like I said, I loved Ollie as the footballer. Legend. Will forever be a legend. Ollie, the manager. The guy that was the anti-Glazer. One of the most high-profile footballers with anti-Glazer is now sucking up to the Glazer. Does an interview, the most softball, saying, putting it on players. And then blaming everybody else but him. It's a joke. Absolute joke. And that hurts me. But that's what they do, people. That's what they do to buy people's silences. And nobody wants to have that uncomfortable conversation as well. Why they're still paying Fergie. And Fergie's
it's called 12 silver coins.
Yeah. It's called also the rise and fall of empires. It's, you come to your peak and you fall. And we've been living in the past success, and we haven't seen that success for 10 years. That's the thing. So we just need a big reset button. We need to come back. And that's what I want to see this season. Like, I don't care if we don't finish top 4 as long as we get new fucking ownerships in. That's the only way moving forward. Yeah, of course I want to get top 4, but not with these clowns in
charge.
What's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point? What's the point? But big up to everybody. Love and light. And we'll see you tomorrow for the... Are you doing any watch along, anything like that, Mick?
Yeah, we're back. He's back. We're doing the warm-up tomorrow, mate.
Okay, big up.
Yes.
Big up. Big up. If I do go to the game, I'll call in on a bike.
Yeah, sure.
If I do go to the game.
Yes.
Most likely I'm not going to go to the game, but if I
we
go
live 45 minutes before the lineup, and we sit there, we talk shit, we gas it up a little bit. Two idiots, basically.
Yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day,
it is what it is. And then we break the lineup, and then Puppy's doing the watch along. Yeah, so big up.
Yeah, big up, people. Love and light, peace. Nice one, guys. Like I said,
peace. Play this out.
TV, Mick Ruby, and then Jarvis Bowley 77. We won the Glazers out. That's how it is. Take care, people. Big up, peace.
Love and light.
Peace.